Hello, Earthlings. It's Wednesday, September 1st, and this is the first part of the Jazz Camp West Jazz Fest 2021 vlog. So I got my COVID-19 test yesterday. Hopefully I'll get the results tomorrow, because if so, I'll be heading out to Camp Jones Gulch for the Jazz Fest on Friday. I don't have much else to say right now because I'm still waiting on the results of the COVID test. Part of me is a little bit worried because of how many people there will be there. I mean, they require a negative test to get in. Although part of me is a bit worried that someone will test positive afterwards. Not worried enough to keep me from going because, as I said, you need a negative test and proof of vaccination to get in. I didn't say the part about vaccines just now, but vaccines work. Get vaccinated. It's Friday the 3rd. I got my negative test results really early yesterday. I'm ready to rock and roll, ironically. All right, so I'm here. And on the way here, I must have accidentally did something that made the car stop recognizing my phone, so I couldn't listen to music on the way here. And I didn't spend enough time thinking to think of the old, turn the Bluetooth off and on again trick or something like that. My face looks a bit weird in the camera, at least to me right now. But yeah, I've checked in. Yeah, seems to be going good so far. Maybe before the end I'll find out how to play music in the car again. All right, so I've moved into my cabin room. I know all three of my cabin mates from years past, so that's nice. And now I'm just gonna, this is probably the first time I've used this word in my life, mosey on over to wherever the action is, because it's not yet lunchtime. And look, they've even paved paradise and shit. So basically the schedule this year is a bit more unified. Not a bit more, it's completely unified. Your typical jazz camp schedule would be to have, a million classes at once for 6 blocks of time. 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. But this one, each day is just 3 concerts and 2 clinics, each after the first 2 concerts. So it's like lunch, concert clinic, dinner, concert. We just had the first 2 concerts of the first day. The first was Natalie Cressman and Ian Facchini, and then I just got out from Terrence Kelly, one of the many jazz camp backbones. All right, I just had dinner, and now I'm on my way to rehearse for an open mic performance that I'm accompanying tonight. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I didn't get any sleep last night. I lay awake with my eyes shut. So I'm definitely going to miss the jam session tonight. post-concert. I may not even make it through the whole concert, which is a shame, because tonight's concert has possibly the biggest name on the entire fest bill. I mean, Dennis Chambers is playing drums for the dynamic Miss Faye Carroll. But yeah, I hope to make it through at least maybe half the concert. Wish I could do it for the whole thing, but I need my sleep. I'll make it through open mic though. Okay, I did go to the whole concert, but I mean, it's the dynamic Miss Faye Carroll. You can't just leave in the middle of a Faye Carroll show. I'm not going to the jam tonight though. I'm definitely gonna try to make it to the other two. All right, it's day 2, Saturday, and that's Jovino Santos Neto warming up on the piano in the background for his concert, which is going to be happening in a few minutes, depending on what your definition of a few is. There was no first clinic today because the guy who was supposed to do it is from New York City, and the flood happened. But Jovino's here, and he's going to do a clinic after his concert. All right, I just got back from the clinic with Jovino Santos Neto, or maybe we should call him Jovino Santos Avô now, because Neto means grandson. And not only is Jovino a grandfather, the second song at his concert was written for his grandson around the time he was born. And then the clinic, a lot of people asked him questions, and he said some really nice, deep stuff about music, which I can't quote verbatim if I tried. I did ask him one question, although I'm not sure if it was my favorite question that was asked at the whole clinic, but it sort of pertains to I think it's a Frank Zappa quote that writing about music is like dancing about architecture, which got me thinking, what about writing music about music? Is that like dancing buildings about architecture? How do you dance a building? So I asked him if he thought writing a song was like dancing a building, and he gave a very good answer, which again I could not quote for the life of me. He referred, he mentioned something at some point, not during his answer to my question, but it's something I've heard him mention several times, that music is the reason we think of music as so mysterious is because you can't see or touch it. Everything we think of as real is something you can see or touch, but music is both invisible and intangible, which kind of makes it inexplicable. And I've noticed that the two things we tend to decorate it with, the three things we tend to decorate music with, are lyrics, which are visible and audible but not tangible, and then there's dance, which is visible and tangible but not audible. And then there are music videos, which are visible but neither tangible nor audible. And I don't know where this tangibility tangent is taking me. Tangerines. Also, I was wrong about Dennis Chambers being the most high-profile artist, because tonight's concert, the artists are definitely on a par with him. It's Kenny Washington and Tuck and Patty. And unfortunately, I misread the schedule, because unfortunately there's no punctuation or line break before Dress Up. So I thought the schedule tonight was Stacey Hoffman remarks, Kenny Washington, Tuck and Patty Dress Up. So I thought that the third set was called Tuck and Patty Dress Up, and it was a themed set that Tuck and Patty would be doing. Maybe they've got an album called Dress Up or whatever. But no, the Dress Up part is a request for us campers to dress up. If I had figured that out before I came here, I would have brought my other hat. Fortunately, Stacey Hoffman, the woman behind all this madness, not COVID, just living jazz camp stuff, has
our executive director. That's her proper title. She's brought some additional fancy clothes for some of us to wear. I'll probably talk to her, and not as awkward as I'm being with you behind the camera now.
All right, that was Tuck and Patty's show. Definitely a highlight of the week for me, if not the highlight. One of my favorite moments was their third number, which was a cover of Woodstock. And Patty did some beatboxing. I'm not sure if beatboxing is the right word. Certainly vocal percussion. And her mic was nice and bassy, which made it sound as if she had, you know, maybe a surdo or a baran in her throat. Also, here's a picture of them on the wrong side, because Tuck did a little solo set. Appropriately enough, his second solo number was Man in the Mirror. What's that I see in the distance? Well, maybe not that distant. It's Gold's Gulch. Sunday now, and I have found my custom-made earplugs, which I thought I lost months ago. Turns out they were in the suitcase, which is good, because I serendipitously lost the ones I bought at CVS to replace them just a few days ago. All right, we just got out of Dana Stevens' concert, and before that, Edward Simon was on, and he did a clinic afterwards. Originally, Dana was going to be doing a clinic now, but Stacy Hoffman and crew just remembered, well, not just, but at some point they remembered that the sun sets earlier in September, and since tonight is Ohlone Bowl night, we're starting it an hour or so earlier, because that means we don't have to use our flashlights for so much of it, because we can't do a bonfire at this time of year. All right, this is me post Ohlone Bowl. It didn't get as cold as we expected, so I'm gonna go shed the sweatshirt I'm wearing, change into a normal t-shirt, and then head over to Gold's Gulch again. All right, it's Friday again. The fest ended on Monday, but I didn't film anything then. I was too busy taking it in. Although I did get someone to film my open mic performance. I closed out the open mic. I actually asked Allison Miller to put me last in the open mic, because I was doing a piano solo, which if you go to Jazz Camp West proper, they have a tradition of most of their faculty concerts with a piano solo. There were some good performances at the open mic, and then after lunch we had Will Blades' concert, and then Christelle Durandi closed the thing out. I never actually got around to trying to play music in the car from my phone again. Because right after Christelle's set, the first song they played over the speakers was I Believe by Stevie Wonder, and you know, that's a really good send-off song, you know, compounded with the fact that I played Overjoyed for my open mic, and then before that Dina Levy saying "You Must Believe in Spring," which is one of my favorite Michel Legrand songs. Not that I know much Michel Legrand. I'm a bit more familiar with Victoria Legrand from Beach House. Then someone else, Mia, I forget her last name, but she sang Across the Universe, my favorite Beatles song that John wrote. So, all in all, I had some really good songs buzzing around my head as I drove out of the camp. Then on Wednesday, I saw Natalie Cressman and Ian Facchini perform at Sweetwater Music Hall in Mill Valley. I didn't get to talk to Ian afterwards, but I talked a bit with Natalie, and I asked her if I could use one of the pictures I took there as the thumbnail for this, because I didn't take many pictures at Jazz Camp Fest, apart from the two you saw of Tuck and Patty. And it never hurts to ask permission. Not that I could ask Tuck and Patty's permission, because they had to leave right away after their set. And the fact that I was going to see a jazz camp artist, right after jazz camp, is sort of reminiscent of what Jazz Camp Fest typically is, which is a series of concerts at Piedmont Piano Company in Oakland, who supplies Jazz Camp West with all their pianos. Thanks, Jim Callahan. And usually in a normal year, the week after Jazz Camp West is filled with performances at Piedmont Piano Company by a similar lineup. And that's what Jazz Camp Fest normally is, but this was Jazz Camp Fest 2021. Also, I just wanted to reiterate, we did have to wear masks when we were indoors, but that was really only when we were using the bathroom or getting food, except for a couple lunches, which were an outdoor barbecue. I don't know if I mentioned this in one of my recent videos, but I've always found mask wearing to be the minorest inconvenience that the COVID-19 pandemic has forced upon us. Like, it affects your life so little compared to stuff like, social distancing and remote working. I think if everyday society returns to normal, but we still have to wear masks, that is normal. Like, it's such a minor, it's barely an inconvenience at all. I just think that people who don't like wearing masks are secretly racist and afraid of looking Asian. I mean, if you look Asian with a mask on, you look Asian with it off. Anyway, I don't know where that was going, but Jazz Camp West is going to happen next year. But until then, stay dangerous.